This video on The Sims 4 Cats and Dogs is sponsored by EA. However, my opinions are still my own, and please note that this is footage from an earlier version of this expansion pack. Well, it's that time of year again. It's finally time for the next expansion pack for The Sims 4. Boy, since we only seem to be getting one a year nowadays, better be something we actually ask for. Seriously, it better be Pets or Seasons this time, or I'm gonna be fuming. It's been 3 years. Wait. Are those dogs? Oh my gosh. Crisis averted. And one of them is wearing a superhero costume. Crisis double averted. Oh yeah, this is exactly the expansion pack that The Sims 4 needs right now. Hey folks, how's it going? This is Iron Seagull here, and I'm very excited to finally be bringing you my first impressions video on The Sims 4 Cats and Dogs, which is coming out on PC and Mac on November 10th worldwide. So I had the pleasure of playing this expansion pack early at Sims Camp back in September along with a bunch of other Simmers from around the world. And I gotta say, this is the first expansion for The Sims 4 that I walked away genuinely impressed by. Earlier this month, I already released a detailed video focusing on the Create a Pet tool, and I still think it's the best Create a Pet in the whole series. It's arguably even better than Create a Sim, especially considering that the color wheel was brought back. But what if you want to add pets to existing families? There's multiple ways to do that. You can add pets to the household through Manage Worlds, adopt a stray, or call the adoption service over the phone. You can also encourage pets to mate. I was very skeptical on the decision to go back to not being able to control pets, like in The Sims 1 and The Sims 2. While you won't hear me saying that I'm super happy that they can't be controlled, everything made more sense once I jumped into live mode. They really do feel more like pets this way. And if you need your pets to go somewhere, you can go over there as their owner and call them over to you. That worked very well for me. If you're wondering how you can have your sim call your pet over to you, in the lower right corner of the pet portraits, there's this little whistle icon, and that's what you click on to have the pet come over. And if you're having trouble figuring out what your cat or dog wants, you can click on them and there's an interaction called What's Wrong? And once that interaction is complete, there will be a dialogue notification in the top right that will tell you plainly what your pet wants. But speaking of going places, there's a new world to explore called Brindleton Bay. It's a world heavily inspired by the US East Coast. There will be another video about Brindleton Bay, as I need separate space to go deeper on everything I want to say and gush about this world. But I'll say that despite having less neighborhoods and lots than Windenburg and San Myshuno, it still ended up becoming my new favorite world. It's very well crafted and has some fun locations and features that give it a unique feel. The Cavalier Cove neighborhood in particular is where I love taking dogs for a walk. Also, interactive seagulls. That's pretty important. Another major feature is the series debut of the vet clinic. I know that's been asked for a very long time, I think even since The Sims 1 days, so it's very satisfying to see this finally become a real thing. And it is kind of like a career if you want it to be. But the way it works is like running a retail store with Get to Work or a restaurant with Dine Out, where it's a business, you buy it, and if you still want to work like a stable job, like a chef or an astronaut, then you can still do that at the same time. While I didn't get to play with the vet clinic for very long, I really enjoyed what I played. And a really nice thing too is that it's not just a business to run. If you're not playing as a vet and your cat or dog gets sick, you can still visit the vet clinic and get a treatment administered to them. Because of that, I definitely want to have more vet clinics in my game other than the pre-made one that's already in Brindleton Bay, since it's not like the Get to Work active careers where you're just suddenly teleported to somewhere outside of the normal playable worlds. One other thing worth noting is that there's a new veterinarian skill that goes up to level 10. So other than the star rating that is pretty similar to what Dine Out's restaurants have, there is also that skill to consider as a form of progression. I'm really happy to see that Maxis is continuing to add more business types to The Sims 4, and I hope this is not the last. And of course, for the builders out there, there is plenty of new stuff in that department as well. Because there are some new roof types, which you may have heard about already. And in addition to being able to size up objects, we will now be able to size them down as well. Yes, so awesome. I'm kicking myself for not having any footage of that, but I did see someone else size down a shower and a table, and they both worked really well, surprisingly. So, should be interesting to see what people will do with that. I can already think, like, with the rugs, there's some rugs that I might want to size down a little bit, and I'm really glad that I'll be able to do that now. And thanks to Andrew Arcade, here is some footage of the new objects coming with this pack. They really suit the nautical atmosphere of Brindleton Bay really well, and there's a decent amount of gameplay objects for the cats and dogs as well, including an obstacle course, which I'll make a separate video going into more detail about that. I really love that new aquarium. And I really like those new signs too. I'm sure I'm going to use those a lot in parks, not just in Brindleton Bay, but with all the other worlds as well. One of my favorite non-gameplay objects is actually this restaurant menu right here. And I think this will be perfect for seafood restaurants. There are some new lot traits as well. The ones that I have listed here are Training Ground, where when your Sims are at this lot, they can build a training skill faster, which is for, I know it's for training dogs. I didn't see for sure if they can train cats with this as well. But there's also dog friendly and cat friendly, and with those separate lot traits, that basically means that more dogs or cats and their owners will hang out in the neighborhood surrounding the lot. And there's also dog-friendly and cat-friendly, which help attract those pets to your lot. There are some small miscellaneous new features as well, as there is a new songwriter genre for the radio stations, and there's a bit of new food as well. Because when you go to the Sable Square neighborhood, there is a new food stand near the pet monument, and there is spiced sparkling apple juice, as well as the haddock sandwich. And remember how with City Living, there's new food that you can learn by going to the food stands, and then when you eat those foods, then you actually learn how to cook them at home? That's actually the same thing with the haddock sandwich, and I really like that. I hope they continue to do that sort of thing with future worlds, where you kind of have like this incentive to go and explore them if you want to have more recipes to kind of like change up your food menu. I was also told by one of the sim gurus that feathers are a new collection type, and you can actually use them for the cat wand. And there is one interesting miscellaneous sort of object, which is an automatic vacuum. And it's basically what you think it does. It automatically cleans up messes. It can even clean up messes that children make if you have the Parenthood game pack installed. And cats can apparently ride on it, although I did not see that. And for those wondering if there's a new woohoo spot for human Sims, yep, there is one. It's in the lighthouse on the Deadgrass Isle neighborhood. And while I don't have any footage of that, it's pretty interesting. I'm sure someone probably got footage of that. One other interesting thing that's most likely going to be included with the game update alongside cats and dogs is that in the options menu, there's a new option for population, where you can set the sim cap to be 50, 100, 200, which is recommended, and unlimited. And there's this funny message when you tick off unlimited where they say something along the lines of, I hope you like that spinning plumb bob, since obviously you're going to need a high-end computer if you want to have an unlimited amount of Sims in your world. I don't know if those are going to be the final numbers, but that's what it was in the version that I played at Sims Camp. And it also displays how many Sims are currently in your world, so you can keep track of how close you are to hitting those limits as well if you have it under unlimited. Overall, even with the limited amount of time I had to play with cats and dogs, I thoroughly enjoyed every minute of it. The cats and dogs actually feel more different from each other, like dogs running around things in their way while cats jump on and walk over them. Plus, I love that walking dogs is simply done by clicking on the dog to leash them, and then your sim and dog are basically attached to each other, and you can just click go here as you normally would to go somewhere, and then the sim and the dog actually go to that place together. Without a doubt, this is my favorite expansion pack for The Sims 4 so far. And especially with the toddlers and parenthood and vampires, and now this expansion pack, it really feels like The Sims 4 is starting to get to a truly decent place, and I really hope that continues into 2018. But that pretty much wraps up this general first impressions video of Cats and Dogs. I gotta say a big thanks to EA for inviting me out to Sims Camp. Like, getting to play a Pets expansion pack early is a dream come true for me, and I couldn't be more grateful. So I hope you will stick around to see some of the other more in-depth videos I have, including an overview of Brindleton Bay, an overview of the obstacle course, and a little tutorial on how to easily have a restaurant in Brindleton Bay if you own the Dine Out game pack. So be sure to leave a like or a comment or even subscribe, because it lets me know that you like my channel, my videos, and it helps you keep up to date more easily with the latest content for me. I do videos on The Sims, Sonic the Hedgehog, and more. So I will talk to you all later, and have a great day. Thanks for watching! Green Llama Dog is off to save the day.